charges them to be more proactive. 3 die, 11 injured as bus plunges into river in Ogun State. Pipeline fire accident destroyed over 11 cars in the Ijebu area of Lagos State. Hello, welcome to Channel 12 News, brought to you live on Nta Abeokuta, and my name is Nta Abeokuta. Are calling on Nigerians to maintain the tempo by giving useful information promptly to agencies involved in the maintaining of law and order. Elizabeth Omori completes the report.
This was at a meeting of the mission security chiefs presided over by President Muhammadu Buhari. Marshal Nta Abeokuta, Chief of Air Staff, told State House correspondent Jude Onifadu that the current strategy being adopted is effective and would continue to be operated.
And the message that is coming out of that meeting is that the armed forces of Nigeria and other security agencies will continue to work much harder to ensure that every Nigerian is secure and the territorial integrity of Nigeria is not undermined by anybody.
Meanwhile, President Muhammadu Buhari has signed 9 bills passed by the 8th National Assembly into law. Lydia Oche completes the package.
A statement by the Senior Special Assistant to the President on National Assembly Matters, Nta, says President Buhari assented to the Police Trust Fund Act, Nigeria Natural Establishment Act, FCT Management Board, and Health Insurance. Also signed are the Suppression of Piracy, another Maritime Defense Bill, and the Institute of Transport Administration of Nigeria. Others are National Institute of Construction Technology and Management Establishment Bills. The President also gave assent to the National Agricultural Seed Council Bill, Agricultural Credit Guarantee Scheme Fund, and the FCT Primary Healthcare Board.
And moving on to legislative matters, the Senate has called for improved funding of primary healthcare system in Nigeria and the introduction of modern technologies in treatment of patients. These followed a motion by Senator Oluremi Tinubu and 105 others. The motion highlights the deliberating state of Nigeria's primary healthcare services. All the Senate who spoke observed that the poor utilization of primary healthcare leads to overstretching of the secondary and tertiary healthcare institutions. Senate also resolved to investigate and strengthen national healthcare insurance scheme to ensure wider coverage. And still on legislative matters, the Senate today inaugurated ad hoc to midwife the affairs of the Ninth Senate before the Constitution. Correspondent Ken Nani has the rest of the report.
Committee members yet to be constituted, the inauguration of the ad hoc committee becomes imperative to avoid any lacuna of the Ninth Senate.
The Senate itself is going to be a bipartisan Senate. What Nigerians expect from us is to also work with the federal arm of government for optimal and efficient service delivery. The other prominent thing we'll do is to oversight those given the responsibility to execute projects on our behalf.
The Legislative Agenda ad hoc committee, being the first to be inaugurated in the Ninth Senate, is expected to draft a guide for the operations of the Red Chamber for the next 4 years. This is with the view to addressing challenges of insecurity, corruption, poverty, and poor economic growth. While that of the media and public affairs will ensure that adequate and correct information on the activities of the Senate reaches the public, as well as ensure a proper feedback mechanism.
The Parliament everywhere in the world not only represent people, but inform the citizens, the electorate, what it does, and also ensure that it gets the feedback on what the students feel. And the responsibilities that are bestowed upon us are enormous, but we are not going to shy away from duty. We will try as much as possible to discharge our duty with all sense of responsibility.
The Legislative Agenda House Committee, with Senator Adamu Alero as chairman, has 2 weeks to deliver on his mandate. In the meantime, the Senior Special Assistant to the President on National Assembly Matters, Senate, Senator Nta Abeokuta, and his counterpart in the House of Representatives, in a press briefing, explained prospects of some of the bills passed by the 8th National Assembly, of which President Nana Abeokuta has assented to.
One of which is the Fair Capital Church Primary Health Care Bill, which he assented, Primary Health Care Bill, which he assented to. And this is intended, of course, to develop and promote and indeed make efficient the structure of healthcare delivery in the Fair Capital Territory. His Excellency Mr. President has also assented to the Nigeria Police Trust Fund Establishment Act. This is intended to improve security, build up the police to the status where other security agencies are in the country through appropriate funding, training of the personnel, revision of facilities and infrastructure, and above all, psyching up the police.
The presidential aides expressed the confidence that President Muhammad Buhari will consider assent to other bills transmitted by the 8th National Assembly. Kenneth Nanim, NTA News.
Meanwhile, principal officers of the House of Representatives have been constituted with the announcement of names of new majority leaders by the Speaker, Femi Gbajabiamila. National Assembly correspondent Lami Ahi reports that Alhassan Udo Dogowa is now the majority leader of the House of Representatives. Others are Mohammed Tahi Mungunu, Chief Whip, Peter Akpatasin, Deputy Majority Leader, and Nkiruka Onyejocha, Deputy Chief Whip. And moving on to Ogun State, the governor of Ogun State, Prince Nta Abeokuta, has assured that he will not lose focus towards giving the people of Ogun State qualitative governance and also ensure retirees benefit immensely from the dividends of democracy. The governor stated this while receiving in audience the leadership of the body of the retired head of service and permanent secretaries in Ogun State at his Okemoson office. Correspondent Lukman Adefeso's report is presented in this package.
The governor, Prince Nta Abeokuta, described public service as the engine room of governance, hence the need to ensure it functions optimally to fast-track all-round development. He, however, emphasized that he will be working with the body of retired head of service and permanent secretaries to tap from their wealth of experiences towards moving Ogun State forward.
We believe by being strategically located where we are, by the benefits of God, we should provide everything that Lagos requires. And one way to do that is to make sure that the state becomes that choice in investment destination. If we're able to successfully do that, then it's going to attract people to come and invest in the state. That's how we can create employment for our people. That's how we can begin to eradicate poverty.
He further stated that his government will stick to the mission and vision to ensure that all his campaign promises are achieved. The chairman of the association, Otumba Babatunde Oshokoya, noted that the emergence of Governor Nta Abeokuta is divine and optimistic that the state will fare better considering its antecedents and achievements in the private sector. He added that the association is always ready to render assistance when necessary. A compendium entitled Perspective on Moving Ogun State Forward, which centered towards laying a solid foundation in moving Ogun State forward, was presented to the governor. The governor, however, commiserated with the family of late Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Finance, Olusegun Laleye, and prayed for the repose of the dead.
And still in Ogun State, work will soon commence on the construction of 4 industrial hubs to develop the creative industry and the information communication technology in Ogun State. This came to fore when Governor Nta Abeokuta received in audience some bankers in his office in Okimoson, Abeokuta, the Ogun State capital. Correspondent Lukman Adefeso's report is presented in this package.
Right from the inception of his administration and at every fora, the governor of Ogun State, Prince Nta Abeokuta, has continued to re-emphasize his administration's commitment to ensure that no sector of Ogun State will be left uncatered for. To make this vision a reality, the Nta Abeokuta-led administration is perfecting plans to build 4 different hubs to accommodate entertainment, information technology, music, and Nollywood industries, where over 2 million unemployed youths will be gainfully employed. The project became imperative since the world is now a global village and Ogun State has to take the lead among the other states of the Federation.
I'm very, very excited. I want to assure us that this is the first of many such collaborations that we are going to be seeing in the state. I think it speaks to the fact that when you voted for something in the private sector, you can expect an enthusiastic private sector collaboration. And the journey to bring the future together truly does begin.
The groundbreaking will commence by third quarter of this year.
And on election petition tribunal, governorship candidates of the Lad People's Movement in the March 9th election in Ogun State, Honorable Abdulkabir Adekunle Akinlade, has appeared before the panel handling the governorship election petition in the state. Akin Jimoh was at today's proceedings and files in the report as presented from this package.
APM governorship candidate in Ogun State in the just concluded election, Honorable Abdulkabir, leading in 142 polling units across the state. He further testified that accreditation of voters did not take place in 53 out of the 142 polling units alleged to have been characterized by electoral fraud in their cross-examination. Counsels to the respondents pointed out that accreditation of voters took place in most polling units. The petitioners claimed there were no any form of accreditation. Counsels or parties in the matter speak on the day's proceedings.
We're putting in the evidence and hopefully at the end of it, justice will be done.
You presented the star witness.
Well, they call him star witness because he's the main petitioner. So but there's nothing. I mean, he's a witness just like any other one. And he has come to affirm his witness statement on oath.
What lies ahead tomorrow or next week?
Calling the experts to come and throw more light into some of the workings so that the tribunal will be better guided.
No cause for alarm. We're on top of the game. We've taken the star witness and we're okay. We have cross-examined him and then we've been able to establish that most of these claims are bogus, and at the end of the day, we hope that the tribunal will do justice. Well, very satisfied with the conduct of the side and the tribunal.
In an oral application, counsel to the petitioners moved for adjournment of proceedings till tomorrow, which was granted by the chairman of the tribunal, Justice Yusuf Alilu, after due consultation with all the parties involved. Earlier, the tribunal admitted some election result sheets from the 20 local government areas of the state as evidences.
And moving on, with Nigeria as the 7th largest producer of gas in the world and proven reserves of at least 202 trillion cubic feet, a lot of investment opportunities abound in the natural gas sector that could aid economic development and provide jobs. The immediate past Minister of Works, Power and Housing, Babatunde Raji Fashola, stressed this at the official commissioning ceremony of Gasco Marine Compressed Natural Gas Model Station at Onijogojogo Eweko local government area of Ogun State. Correspondent Mohammed Adibwale has the details.
That was the official commissioning of Gasco Marine CNG plant at Onijogon in Ewekoro local government area of Ogun State by the former minister. The model station, with total installed capacity of about 216,000 SCM daily, is an indigenous gas company with focus on production, transportation, storage, processing, sales, and as well help grow gas supply in Nigeria. Mr. Babatunde Fashola stated that developing the gas sector is key to economic development and job creation, with focus on identifying its potentials, create private-public partnership in its exploration.
We can talk about climate change and how we need to convert bad fuel, coal, diesel into cleaner fuel. But it won't go away by just talking. So this group has done something about that again by making sure that there's cleaner fuel, there's cleaner source of fuel gas to use.
While commending Gasco Marine for setting up the multi-billion naira project, the former minister stressed that the need to promoting the use of natural gas by energizing the mid and downstream value chain, including distribution and compression of natural gas.
This is also an initiative that employs people. So from receiving the gas to processing the gas to discharging the gas, distributing the gas, driving the trucks, monitoring the deliveries, this is the value chain of employment. But you can't talk this into existence. You have to work it into existence.
The managing director of Gasco Marine, Bukola Badejo Okusoya, who hinted that there has been increased attention to the natural gas sector, hence the need to create new industries out of the old oil industry to capture economic value, revenue generation, and end gas flaring within the shortest possible time.
We're hoping that we can encourage more and more Nigerians to invest in the gas infrastructure business, because that is the only way that we can begin to tackle this issue of imported fuels. With gas, you can create jobs.
Nta Abeokuta, Mohammed Adebowale, NTA.
A combined team of firefighters have successfully contained the raging fire from an NNPC pipeline right-way at Ijebu in Lagos State. The source of the fire was attributed to bunkering on the pipeline at Fire Junction by suspected vandals who were shipping fuels into tankers. Paul reports that so far 2 dead bodies have been recovered.
Shikubi is a victim of the early morning inferno at Fire Junction, Ijebu, Lagos. His commercial vehicle, which he got on hire purchase, was among 31 vehicles gutted by the fire.
It's vandalizers that caused this fire that raised the whole bus here. They are vandalizing the fuel. They have carried almost 13 trucks out. And the two that they want to carry out is one that's burning here now.
Director General of Lagos State Emergency Management Agency and an information officer from the National Emergency Management Agency NEMA confirmed to NTA that 12 vandals who were affected by the fire were rescued.
I need to warn the citizen in this environment that there are a lot of inflammables in the air. They need to cooperate with us. They need to be vigilant. This fire will go on long time. However, I can assure you that we are on top of it. It will not damage any properties again because we have localized it. We've curtailed the spread. We've shutting down the source of supply from the main source of supply, then asking them to shut down the valves, process valves around there. And until when the fire goes out or is weakened, before we can be able to put it out entirely.
Investigations continue with strong security presence at the scene of incident. Apart from the vehicles burns and 2 casualties, no building in the area was affected. In Lagos, Paul Mukago, NTA News.
And moving on, as the rain gets heavier in the country, weather experts and astrologians on Good Morning Nigeria called for the establishment on adequate storage to help manage the excess influx of water caused by flood. This, they say, would help ameliorate the damming effect caused by the natural phenomena. Daniel Adewuye tells us more.
indicating that relevant agencies like the Nigeria Hydrological Services Agency and the Nigerian Meteorological Agency do well to give timely alerts as regards flood outlook for the year. Sister agencies have been advised to be strong.
While federal government has been doing a lot to ensure that NEMA is properly organized, NEMA is properly funded, and then NEMA is properly empowered to discharge its mandate. When you go to the state and to the local government, you don't find complementary arrangement.
Now that flooding is going to be a major thing in Nigeria and will continue to be a major thing, we can find dams that are specifically designed for flood control.
Noting that flood is a natural disaster that cannot be stopped or curbed. Proper integration and cohesion of all relevant agencies is expected to help improve and reduce the level of damage, as well as improve the response rate to emergencies associated with flood.
All the institutions, all the agencies, all the stakeholders, be it state or local government, and any other person must integrate. After the prediction, what next?
What is lacking is proactive measures being taken by governments, state governments or stakeholders, to mitigate the negative impact of flood.
The guests, however, advocated that flood reports and outlooks, as given by relevant agencies, be put to prompt and adequate use to help with spread awareness. In Abuja, Nta Abeokuta, NT News.
3 people lost their lives while 11 sustained various degrees of injuries when a commercial bus plunged into the Ososa River. This was contained in a statement signed by the Federal Road Safety Corps Commander in Ogun State, Clement Oladele. According to the statement, the lone accident involved a yellow-colored Mazda F220 commercial bus. The bus, which took off from Ijebu Motor Park, lost control and plunged into the river. The corpse of the victims was deposited at the Ijebu Central Hospital mortuary, and the injured are receiving treatment. And on sport update, football game in Africa has been improving compared to what was obtained in the past, following performance of teams of different countries in the African Cup of Nations tournament. A cross-section of soccer pundits, while assessing the performance of the team at the group stage of the ongoing AFCON 2019 in Egypt, were of the opinion the match officiating during the first stage shows an improvement.
Group matches so far shows that there are no minors in football. There's no that there are no just a team that will beat them. No, you just have to work for your win. See, so many football pundits have been proved wrong about looking about the results that we have in group stage, and even it is just getting started, because in the knockout round, in the round of 16, there are so many surprises that will still come. So I know it's just it's a wake-up call for all the so-called giants of African footballs, nations that are calling themselves giants of African football. So there are no minors again in football, and it's a lesson for the big teams to prepare very well.
You can still get better. But having seen all the matches, if I'm to assess overall, for me too personally, I've not really been impressed. Because number one, you look at the number of goals. We don't really see as much goals as we expected. We have goalless. Tells you the level of goals that we've seen. Nigeria, as a case study, we only managed to score 2. We considered 2. You understand? So it's been fewer goals, except maybe the first game of Mali that they won 4-1. So in terms of scoring, it's not really been that fantastic. In terms of even the level of play generally, there are some games that you watch that are so boring. We had very few games overall that are so exciting and very interesting.
It has been wonderful. There has not been any controversial issue among the group stages. But if you have to look at the group stage, especially Nigerian group, it has not been sweet to me. It has not been interesting. Our first two matches we managed to score. We want the school to beat the team. The last match against Madagascar, beating us by 2 goals to 0 is out of it at all.
Let's join our sport desk for more on sports updates.
Super Eagles coach Kenneth Raw has decided that the team's training session on Thursday evening will be done in complete privacy without the presence of reporters and fans to enable the team concentrate and strategize ahead of Saturday's AFCON 2019 round of 16 clash with defending champions Cameroon in Alexandria. According to official information tweeted on the Nigerian team's Twitter platform on Wednesday, the Eagles training session on Wednesday and Friday evening will be open to the media for the first 15 minutes from 5:30 p.m. each day. The Super Eagles and the Indomitable Lions last faced each other during the qualifiers for the 2018 FIFA World Cup in Russia. Nigeria won at home and had a draw in Yaoundé. The winner of Saturday's clash will face the winner between Egypt and South Africa in a quarter-final match on July 10th at Cairo International Stadium. In England, Chelsea has appointed former midfielder Frank Lampard as their manager on a 3-year deal. Lampard left Championship side Derby County to take over at the club, where he spent 13 years as a player. The former England international made 648 Chelsea appearances, winning 11 major trophies with them. He succeeds Mauricio Sarri, who led Stamford Bridge in June to take charge of Italian champions Juventus. In tennis, 7th seed Simona Halep survived a scare to beat fellow Romanian Mihaela Păsănescu 6-3, 4-6, 6-2 to book a spot in the third round at Wimbledon. The former world number 1 dominated early on, but her form dropped dramatically in the second set as world number 53 Păsănescu broke serve in the 9th game en route to leveling the match. They broke each other in the third before Halep broke twice more to win. The 27-year-old will next play 2-time semi-finalist Victoria Azarenka. Similarly, Pickleball's fairy tale introduction to Wimbledon continued with a second-round victory over Magdalena Rybarikova that bellied our years. She becomes the youngest player to reach the last 32 at Wimbledon since fellow American Jennifer Caprati. The 15-year-old American qualifier beat her Slovakian opponent 6-3, 6-3 on the Court 1's new roof. Golf, who beat the 5-time Wimbledon champion Venus Williams on Monday, will play Slovenia's Polona Hercog next.
And that wraps up Channel 12 News. Thank you for watching. I'm Idare Sit Adedokun. Bye for now.
Hey, now me I go ask and say, why all of us go pay 100,000 naira? Say, cause say your husband, he want do 70th birthday. Shey na all of us marry am together. Hey, when her mama die, she collect the money. Her papa die, she collect the money. Her mama die, she collect. You remember when she talk say she wanted her mama dead body. Mama, you too talk. Now you be glad when they dash me credit anyhow. Imagine 40-year-old dead body. Why you dey laugh now? Na true, abeg bring your money. Mama, no laugh. No be you, Jare. Na some apropos customer there wey dem no dey mind their own business. Yo, I never even begin to give you her gist.
Glow and Member get 5 times your recharge to call all networks. Recharge with *555*PIN#.
Make I sell my market finish first, eh? I will call you back. Oh.
Glow Unlimited.
Aláṣẹ Muhammadu Buhari ti ṣe ìpàdé pẹ̀lú àwọn aṣáájú iléeṣẹ́ elétò ààbò pẹ̀lú àrọwà wípé kí wọ́n kógìrí mọ́ iṣẹ́ wọn. Ọkọ̀ bọ́ọ̀sì elérò kan kó sómi ní ìpínlẹ̀ Ògùn. Èèyàn 3 ló jáláìsí táwọn 11 míì sì farapa. Wàyí ẹ wá nǹkan fìdílé láti gbọ́ ìròyìn ọ̀hún ní kíkún. Ìròyìn ló ń dé sí etígbọ̀nyín láti iléeṣẹ́ tẹlifíṣàn ti ìjọba àpapọ̀ nílùú Abẹ́òkúta. Fúnmiláyọ̀ Pátọ́lá ni oníròyìn yín. Ìròyìn ọ̀hún rèé. Ọ̀rọ̀ ètò ààbò orílẹ̀-èdè yìí ti ṣe ń yí padà sí dáadáa látàrí àwọn àlùyọ tó ti ń fojú hàn káàkiri àwọn igun kan lórílẹ̀-èdè yìí. Nípasẹ̀ ọ̀gá lẹ́ka ètò ààbò gbogbo ti ké sí àwọn èèyàn orílẹ̀-èdè yìí wípé kí wọ́n má ṣe dágunlá kí wọ́n rí dájú wípé wọ́n tètè ń ta iléeṣẹ́ elétò ààbò lólobó tí wọ́n bá kófìrí ohun tó lè tàbùkù bá òfin àti ààbò ilẹ̀ wa Nàìjíríà. Èyí ló jẹ jáde níbi ìpàdé tí aláṣẹ Muhammadu Buhari ṣe pẹ̀lú àwọn olùdarí iléeṣẹ́ elétò ààbò, lára èyí tí ọ̀gágun Sodiq Abubakar wà. Akọ̀ròyìn wa Jídé Onífádé tó wà níbẹ̀, òun náà ló fi èyí tó ní létí. Ilé ìgbìmọ̀ aṣòfin àgbà nílẹ̀ wa ti pè fún ìgbélárugẹ ẹ̀ka ètò ìlera síbẹ̀ kíjì ìgbàlódé láti máa fi ṣe ìwòsàn àwọn aláìsàn. Èyí ló jẹ jáde nínú àbá tí sẹ́nẹ́tọ̀ Olúrẹ̀mí Tinubu gbé kalẹ̀ tí àwọn 95 míì tí àwọn náà sì kí lẹ́yìn pé òótọ́ ọ̀rọ̀ ló sọ. Àbá náà ṣàlàyé ní kíkún bí ètò ìlera lábọ́dé bó ṣe ń pakasọ lọ. Àwọn aṣòfin náà wá yànnàná rẹ̀ wípé dídẹnukọlẹ̀ ètò ìlera lábọ́dé ló ń ṣe àkóbá fáwọn ìpele ètò ìlera tó kù gbogbo. Àwọn aṣòfin ọ̀hún ti wá ṣèlérí wípé àwọn yóò ṣe ìwádìí lórí ọ̀rọ̀ ètò ìlera débi gẹ́, pàápàá ètò ìdíyelófò tí ó jẹ́ ti ètò ìlera ìyẹn tí ìjọba àpapọ̀ gbé kalẹ̀ láti rí dájú pé ó ṣe àǹfààní fún ọ̀gọ̀rọ̀ àwọn ọmọ orílẹ̀-èdè yìí. Gómìnà ìpínlẹ̀ Ògùn Ọmọọba Dàpọ̀ Abíọ́dún ti sọ wípé òun kò ní bùrẹ̀yìn nínú ááyan ìpèsè ètò ìdẹ̀rùn pẹ̀lú ìṣàkóso gúnmọ́ tó jíire fáwọn èèyàn ìpínlẹ̀ yìí, pàápàá àwọn òṣìṣẹ́ fẹ̀yìntì, ohun ètò ìjọba àwarawa ní ìṣàkóso òun. Gómìnà ló ṣèlérí yìí lọ́fíìsì rẹ̀ lókè mọ̀sán lásìkò tó ń gbàlejò àwọn alákòóso òṣìṣẹ́ ìjọba àtàwọn akọ̀wé àgbà láwọn iléeṣẹ́ ìjọba tí wọ́n ti fẹ̀yìntì lẹ́nu iṣẹ́. Akọ̀ròyìn wa Lípọ̀n Adéfẹ̀sọ̀ tó wà pẹ̀lú rẹ̀ ló jábọ̀ náà. Ẹ gbọ́ ohun tó mú bọ̀ síwájú sí i látẹnu Mohammed Adébọ̀wálé.
Gómìnà Dàpọ̀ Abíọ́dún ṣe àpèjúwe ẹ̀ka àwọn òṣìṣẹ́ ìjọba gẹ́gẹ́ bí ẹ̀ka kan gbòógì tí ó ṣagbátẹrù fún ìṣèjọba, ó sì pọn dandan kí wọ́n máa ṣiṣẹ́ dójú àmì fún ìdàgbàsókè àwùjọ. Bákan náà ni ó ṣe ìlérí láti ṣẹ́pọ̀ pẹ̀lú àwọn ìgbìmọ̀ àwọn tí wọ́n ti fẹ̀yìntì gẹ́gẹ́ bí olórí òṣìṣẹ́ ìjọba àti àwọn tí wọ́n ti fẹ̀yìntì gẹ́gẹ́ bí akọ̀wé ìjọba àgbà láti yálò nínú ìrírí àti ọgbọ́n orí wọn fún ìtẹ̀síwájú ìpínlẹ̀ Ògùn. Ó tẹ̀síwájú nínú ọ̀rọ̀ rẹ̀, ó ní ìjọba òun yóò tòrò mọ́ àwọn ìpinnu gbogbo tí ó ṣe lásìkò ìpolongo ètò ìdìbò. Ẹni tó jẹ́ alága ẹgbẹ́ náà, Ọ̀túnba Babátúndé Ṣókóyà, sọ wípé yíyàn tí a yan gómìnà Dàpọ̀ Abíọ́dún gẹ́gẹ́ bí gómìnà ní ìpínlẹ̀ Ògùn jẹ́ léyìí tó ní ìmọ̀ Ọlọ́run nínú, wípé ìpínlẹ̀ Ògùn yóò ní ìtẹ̀síwájú ọ̀tun látàrí ọgbọ́n orí àti àwọn àṣeyọrí ọlọ́kanòjọ̀kan tí gómìnà náà ti ṣe nígbà tí ó dá iṣẹ́. Ó fi kún wípé ẹgbẹ́ náà yóò máa ṣe àtìlẹ́yìn tí ó yẹ fún gómìnà láti ṣe àṣeyọrí. Lẹ́yìn eléyìí ni wọ́n fi ìwé kan tí wọ́n pe àkọlé rẹ̀ ní àkójọpọ̀ ọ̀nà ìdàgbàsókè ìpínlẹ̀ Ògùn lé gómìnà lọ́wọ́, eléyìí tí ó ń sọ nípa bí a ṣe lè ṣe ìpìlẹ̀ rere fún ìdàgbàsókè ohun ìlọsíwájú ìpínlẹ̀ Ògùn. Lẹ́yìn eléyìí ni gómìnà wọ́n bá mọ̀lẹ́bí ẹni tí wọ́n jẹ́ akọ̀wé àgbà ìjọba ní ẹ̀ka iléeṣẹ́ ètò ìṣúná ìpínlẹ̀ Ògùn yẹn Olúṣẹ́gun Ọlálẹ́yẹ kẹ́dùn, ó sì gbàdúrà kí Ọlọ́run dẹlẹ̀ fẹ́mi ire tó lọ. Mohammed Adébọ̀wálé ni ti jábọ̀ rẹ̀ láti iléeṣẹ́ Nta Abeokuta.
wọ́n ní tí iṣẹ́ kò bá pẹ́ ni a kì í pẹ́ iṣẹ́. Gẹ́gẹ́ bí gómìnà ìpínlẹ̀ Ògùn Ọmọọba Dàpọ̀ Abíọ́dún ṣe sọ, ó ní iṣẹ́ kò ní pẹ́ bẹ̀rẹ̀ lórí àkọ́pọ̀ agboolé iléeṣẹ́ ajé gbàràmùgbàràmù èyí tí yóò wà fún ẹ̀ka ọgbọ́n àtinúdá àti ìmọ̀ tẹkinọ́lọ́jì ìròyìn ní ìpínlẹ̀ Ògùn. Èyí jẹ jáde nígbà tí gómìnà ìpínlẹ̀ yìí Ọmọọba Dàpọ̀ Abíọ́dún gba àwọn òṣìṣẹ́ ilé ìfowópamọ́ kan lálejò lọ́fíìsì rẹ̀ lókè mọ̀sán nílùú Abẹ́òkúta. Akọ̀ròyìn wa Lípà Adéfẹ̀sọ̀ tó wà ńbẹ̀ ló jábọ̀ yìí pé gómìnà sọ wípé gẹ́gẹ́ bí òun ṣe ìlérí kí òun tó wọlé ìbò, òun náà ni òun yóò máa tọ ìpinnu òun lẹ́yìn, wípé gbogbo tó bá gbà láti mú ìdàgbàsókè tó lóòrìn bá ìpínlẹ̀ yìí lẹ́ka kọ̀ọ̀kan, òun náà ni àwọn yóò máa ṣiṣẹ́ lé lórí. Ọmọye sí ipò gómìnà látinú ẹgbẹ́ òṣèlú Allied People's Movement APM lásìkò ìdìbò tó kọjá ní oṣù kẹta ọjọ́ kẹsàn-án ọdún yìí, ọmọọba ìyẹn ọ̀nàrẹ́bù Abdulkabir Adékúnlé Akínládé ló ti tìka lára rẹ̀ farahàn tó sì bọ́ sínú akóló níwájú ìgbìmọ̀ tó ń gbẹ́jọ́ lórí awuyewuye tó jẹ jáde lórí èsì ìdìbò tó wáyé kẹ́yìn ní ìpínlẹ̀ Ògùn lórí ọ̀rọ̀ ti ipò gómìnà. Akeem Jimoh ló bá wọn wà ní ibi ìjókòó wọn ní Ìṣàbọ̀ lónìí. Ẹgbẹ́ ohun tó mú Bọ̀wálé ṣe látẹnu akọ̀ròyìn wa Mohammed Adébọ̀wálé.
Ẹni tó jẹ́ adíje dupò gómìnà lábẹ́ àsíá ẹgbẹ́ òṣèlú APM ní ìpínlẹ̀ Ògùn nínú ètò ìdìbò tó ṣe kọjá, ìyẹn Abdulkabir Adékúnlé Akínládé ríra ṣẹ́rí níwájú ilé-ẹjọ́ kòtẹ́milọ́rùn náà níbi tó ti sọ pé láwọn ibùdó ìdìbò kan ètò ìdìbò kò lọ bí ó ṣe yẹ kó lọ níbẹ̀. Bákan náà ló tẹ̀síwájú nínú ẹ̀rí rẹ̀ tó sọ wípé ètò àyẹ̀wò àwọn olùdìbò kò wáyé ní àwọn ibi ibùdó ìdìbò tí wọ́n tó bí 53. Ó ní eléyìí kò sí bá òfin mu gẹ́gẹ́ bí àjọ elétò ìdìbò INEC ṣe sọ kalẹ̀. Nínú àyẹ̀wò wọn, àwọn tí wọ́n jẹ́ agbẹjọ́rò fún ẹkùn méjèèjì àti àwọn ẹlẹ́rìí sọ wípé kò rí bẹ́ẹ̀ rárá. Gẹ́gẹ́ bí ọ̀gbẹ́ni Adékúnlé Akínládé ṣe sọ, wọ́n ní ètò àyẹ̀wò àwọn olùdìbò ní wáyé ní àwọn ibi gbogbo tí ó sọ. Nínú àyẹ̀wò ìfọ̀rọ̀jomitoro ọ̀rọ̀ ni àwọn ẹni tó jẹ́ agbẹjọ́rò olùjẹ́jọ́ ti pè fún ìsún ìgbẹ́jọ́ sí ọ̀la, eléyìí tí ẹni tó jẹ́ alága ìgbẹ́jọ́ náà ìyẹn adájọ́ àgbà Yusuf Alilu buwọ́lù lẹ́yìn tó ti ní ìjíròrò pẹ̀lú àwọn tí ọ̀rọ̀ kàn lórí ẹjọ́ náà. Ṣáájú ni ilé ẹjọ́ ti gba àwọn ìwé ẹ̀rí ètò ìdìbò kan wọlé ní ìjọba ìbílẹ̀ Ògùn tó wà ní ìpínlẹ̀ Ògùn gẹ́gẹ́ bí ẹ̀rí tí ọ̀pọ̀ yóò súnkàn. Mohammed Adébọ̀wálé ni ti ń jábọ̀ ìròyìn láti iléeṣẹ́ Nta Abeokuta.
Pẹ̀lú bí ilẹ̀ wa Nàìjíríà ṣe wà ní ipò kejì láwùjọ àgbáyé láàrin àwọn orílẹ̀-èdè tí aláwùrábí fi afẹ́fẹ́ gáàsì jíǹkí pẹ̀lú àrágbá yamuyamu rẹ̀, wọ́n ní tí a bá ṣe àmúlò rẹ̀ bó ṣe tọ́ àti bó ṣe yẹ, ètò ọrọ̀ ajé wa yóò gbé fúkẹ́, bẹ́ẹ̀ ni iṣẹ́ yóò sì wà fáwọn tí kò ní iṣẹ́ lọ́wọ́. Alákòóso tẹ́lẹ̀ rí fún ìpèsè iná, iṣẹ́ àti ilégbèé lórílẹ̀-èdè yìí, ọ̀gbẹ́ni Babátúndé Rájí Fáṣọlá, òun náà ló fi gbogbo ẹnu sọ èyí níbi tí wọ́n ti ń ṣíde ibùdó ìpèsè afẹ́fẹ́ gáàsì ní oníjàngànjàngàn nílùú Abẹ́òkúta tí ṣolúìlú ìpínlẹ̀ Ògùn. Akọ̀ròyìn wa Mohammed Adébọ̀wálé, òun náà ló bá wọn débẹ̀ tó sì mú àbọ̀ wá sílé fún wa. Tó kí aláwùrábí kó má jẹ́ kí á rìn ní ọjọ́ tí ebi ń pọ̀nà. Ìròyìn tí ó tóni lọ́wọ́ báyìí ló ń fi yé ni wípé bọ́ọ̀sì ọkọ̀ elérò kan ni ó kó sínú odò Ọ̀sọ̀sà tí èèyàn 3 sì ti pasẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ já láìsí, táwọn 11 míì sì farapa yánnayànna. Èyí ló wà nínú àtẹ̀jáde kan tí ọ̀gá iléeṣẹ́ ìṣojú pópónà ti ìjọba àpapọ̀ ní ìpínlẹ̀ Ògùn, ọ̀gbẹ́ni Clement Ọládélé, tí ó fi ṣọwọ́ sí wa. Gẹ́gẹ́ bí àtẹ̀sọ síwájú, wọ́n ní kì í ṣe pé akọlù ọkọ̀ yìí àbẹ́nìkan gbà látẹ̀yìn, bí kò ṣe wípé ṣàdédé ni ìjánu ọkọ̀ náà ló kọṣẹ́ tó sì ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ tó mórí wọ inú omi odò Ọ̀sọ̀sà náà. Ọkọ̀ ọ̀hún ló kérò láti Ìjẹ̀bú Òde
tó sì ń lọ sí Èkó kó tó di wípé ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ láabi yìí ó ṣẹlẹ̀. Wọ́n ti kó àwọn tó jáláìsí lọ sí ibi ìgbókùúsí ti ilé ìwòsàn ìjọba tó wà nílùú Ìjẹ̀bú Òde nígbà táwọn tó farapa tí wọ́n ń gba ìtọ́jú. Wọ́n ní ìdàgbàsókè àti àyípadà tó lóòrìn ó ti ṣẹ̀ ń dé bá bọ́ọ̀lù àfẹsẹ̀gbá nílẹ̀ wa Nàìjíríà látàrí àyípadà ọ̀tun àti àṣeyọrí eléyìí tí àwọn ọmọ ẹgbẹ́ agbábọ́ọ̀lù ilẹ̀ wa tí wọ́n ní lọ́wọ́, pàápàá bó ṣe fojú hàn níbi ìdíje ti AFCON eléyìí tí ó ń lọ lọ́wọ́. Ìsọ̀rí àwọn olólùfẹ́ bọ́ọ̀lù àfẹsẹ̀gbá tó bá akọ̀ròyìn wa sọ̀rọ̀ lórí àgbéyẹ̀wò ìpele kìíní ìdíje bọ́ọ̀lù àfẹsẹ̀gbá ti AFCON tọdún yìí, àwọn náà ni wọ́n sọ ọ̀rọ̀ yìí, ẹ gbọ́ ohun tí wọ́n sọ síwájú sí i.
Ìfọwọ́sowọ́sẹ̀ sí ọdún yìí ní ilẹ̀ adúláwọ̀, gbogbo group tí a ti gbá sẹ́yìn, mo rí pé ó dára, ó wà òkè, ó ṣe gbóríyìn fún, ṣùgbọ́n ní títí wa nílẹ̀ Nàìjíríà inú mi ò dùn sí rárá, pàápàá ìfọ̀sọ̀méjì mílíọ̀tì àkọ́kọ́ gbà yẹn àtiraka láti score ni, ṣùgbọ́n eré bọ́ọ̀lù àtàgbàgbẹ̀yìn pẹ̀lú Madagascar ó yẹ ká náà wọn ni, ṣùgbọ́n kò yẹ ká máa fojú òyìnbó tẹ́ńbẹ́lú, ó yẹ kí a lè mọ̀ pé àwọn ni tí wọ́n ń pè ní referee bí ìsìn wọ́n ń ṣe dáadáa àti rí pé àwọn mú nǹkan kan tó yẹ pé ó lè fa wàhálà kò tí ì sí yẹn bẹ̀. Gẹ́gẹ́ bí CAF dẹ̀ ti sọ wípé tó bá di pèsè quarter final wọ́n máa lo video assistant referee. Ẹ jẹ́ ká wò ó bá ṣe ń wò lọ nísìn wọ́n sì ṣe dáadáa. Tó bá ní ká wò, FIFA náà ti ń pe àwọn aláwọ̀ dúdú láti wá fún fèrè ní ìdíje bọ́ọ̀lù gbogbo àgbáyé, so ìyẹn túmọ̀ sí wípé a ti ń dàgbà díẹ̀díẹ̀ náà ni díẹ̀díẹ̀ náà a máa débi tó yẹ ká dé.
Eré ìfẹsẹ̀wọnsẹ̀ ti orílẹ̀-èdè adúláwọ̀ àti àwọn àgbọ̀jẹ̀ tí ó ṣẹlẹ̀ ní orílẹ̀-èdè Egypt, ìpele aláwọ̀kọ́ eléyìí tí ó ti parí tá a mọ̀ sí group stage, tá a bá ní ká bójú wò gẹ́gẹ́ bí akọ̀ròyìn eré ìdárayá àti olólùfẹ́ eré ìdárayá, kò fi bẹ́ẹ̀ jẹ́ nǹkan tí ó fi taratara wúyàn lórí, látara pé tá a bá wò à ń gbá bọ́ọ̀lù sáwọ́ ò fi bẹ́ẹ̀ pọ̀. Púpọ̀ ní àwọn ìfẹsẹ̀wọnsẹ̀ tá a wò bí kan wọ́n borí pẹ̀lú àmì ayò kan sódo, bí kan ta ọ̀mì láì gbá bọ́ọ̀lù kankan wọlé, bí kan tọ̀mì kí góòlù tán kí bọ́ọ̀lù tán gbá wọlé kó má pọ̀. Bákan náà ìyẹn lórí pé bọ́n ṣe gbá bọ́ọ̀lù wọlé sí. Bákan náà ó ní pé a rí orílẹ̀-èdè tó yẹ pé ó kẹsẹ̀ járí láti bọ́ sí ìpele kejì tí ó máa bẹ̀rẹ̀ láìpẹ́ yìí, látara pé ọ̀mì méjì ni wọ́n gbá wọ́n dẹ̀ kẹsẹ̀ járí, ṣe eléyìí ó fi hàn pé nípa pé à ń gbá bọ́ọ̀lù sáwọn kò fi bẹ́ẹ̀ dáńtọ́ tó.
tí ìròyìn wa fún ti sáà yìí kò ní jù báyìí lọ, ẹ pàdé wa láṣàálẹ́ ọ̀la fún àkọ́tún ìròyìn. Mú kí yín ohun rẹ̀ lásùn, ó dàárọ̀. Àyítẹ́gá Muhammadu Buhari kò sí àyínbòdò ó pódòmù kan tọ́ àlọ́ṣọ́ndózún sílẹ̀ tán pótù àyítẹ́ìnẹ̀ bùnà yídọ̀ yìí ní wàsàn tó gọ. Pẹ̀tọ́ àtàn wẹ̀síyẹ́ òkú ọrú tó fìdé wídòpó sọ́gbélé àwò ní àkànyàn àkàntè tó òhun sí àhófìdé ìjọ tó gùnùdé òhun lé èhọ́kọ̀ bíọ́ ògùn sí òtọ́ dẹ́mẹ̀ tó
ogun imateme misedo onu enyi ogan henoze onu soyi fide vule ene miyan si ogan tàbí gáàsì sí ogan rẹ̀ misedo ebe miyan boso hen ohun lódì gbúdọ̀ pógbélé tó ìjẹgun sílẹ̀ nù tó àwọn imateme nìkúdó òwìjà yìí ẹni Clemson television hall Nta Abeokuta tọmọwẹ tó gbèdéjẹ nínú mi tán wẹ Anthony Gandonu. Ọlọ́ṣọ́ndó sí òkú tó yìí dó tó wà ìtẹ́ẹ̀mí wẹ̀ mísèdọ̀ ètò dìdìyọ́ kọ́dó dàgbèjì gbódó talután ọ̀nà ọmọ ètò dídókó tó máa tẹ ẹ̀mí fèlè wẹ̀ mísèdọ̀ ehe wẹ̀ mísèdọ̀ ewá yìí mẹ́ẹ̀tọ̀ wẹ̀nù èyí tó yàdọ̀ àzún àdódó ẹ̀ àlọ́ṣọ́ndó sílẹ̀ tó wà tó wà ìtẹ́ẹ̀mí gbódó ehepo alọ́ṣọ́ndó sílẹ̀ wẹ̀ mísèdọ̀ yìí wáyé rọ́ gbẹ̀tọ́ tó mẹ́nu tán rẹ̀ lọ́sùn Nàìjíríà ìtẹ́ẹ̀fì rẹ̀ dọ̀nà yìí ní mọ̀dọ̀ yìí bá sí òun hèjẹ bó sọmọdọ alọṣọndó sí òkú ezindónù kan bó tó àga yìí mọ tó wèrè jẹdọ náà yìí nínú náàrùn ìmúdé pépé ètò jíjọ kéédú alọṣọndó sí òkú tán bó tó jíjọ tó lẹdọ yìí tán lẹmẹ náà yìí níná mẹyìn alọṣọndó zún sílẹ̀ ehe wẹmí ṣèdọ yìí dọ lọsùn tògòǹdó ìrìn tọmítàn Elizabeth ọmọrùn dóìgì gọlì lọ ene òpórí ihe wáyé mẹ́tò wáyé tí ń gá Muhammadu Buhari ṣẹṣẹ kódó àlọ́ṣọ́ndó zún sílẹ̀ po tòwò ní wọ́ọ̀dó tó gbọ́dọ̀ mẹ́ ìndò kótó àlọ́ṣọ́ndó zún sílẹ̀ nẹ ene Sadiq Abubakar ẹ̀dọ̀ àzọ́ngbẹ́pọ̀ bọ́ ẹ̀jẹ̀dọ̀ náà yìí níwà gbogbo náà gàyè àlọ́ṣọ́ndó tán tó wáyé tí Nàìjíríà tán náà. òsèndó ọ̀dàhó wáyé tí ìtàn wẹ̀mí sílẹ̀ kó sọ yírọ̀ dógọ́ náà kọ́ dàhó zizédà yìí nà tó mọ̀dọ̀ yìí zán do agbasa ilo si tito jereme kodo peviton pogo to ayiteme boso yerodogo na onu lewo nitan leziza na to modo yi na pon gbe tolego to pon gbo ko mu ayiteme do hewe sin aso bo aga ina do pla agbasa ilo si wo to ayiteme ehiwe mi se do wa yi me to godo de yeze owode to rin de go tan fun ene o sendotọ Olúrẹ̀mí Tinubu kódó òsèndótọ́ ìsọ̀ kan òkò ńlá àtọ́ǹdéfò mọ́lẹ̀ pípó ìsọ̀gbẹ̀ ẹ̀ ti tò mọ́ nǹkan tán òwòdèdò ìrìnà lọ́gọ̀ọ́lọ́wọ̀ mí sídọ̀ ẹ̀dọ̀hó dógùn ní ìjẹ̀dọ̀ náà ààyè mátẹ̀ǹ lòpólòpó nígbà sí kódó dé àgbàsá ìlú sí òpópó tètò àyítẹ̀ Nàìjíríà tọ̀nà bí òsèndótọ́ lẹ̀bí wẹ̀mí sídọ̀ yìí náà pọ̀ bó dọ̀hó bó zé ògbè tó pọ̀ bó sọ́dọ̀ òkúdùkú bó sa èwú dó taná dé àgbàsá ìlú sí òkóòtè tó àgbàsá ìlú títí tó nínàmẹ pẹ̀ví tíṣin bó wá dọ̀ ehe yín òun pé yín náà bílẹ̀ bò ń tó àgbàsá ìlú ti tó jìrẹ́mẹ̀ tán kó tó dàhó tán kó tó àyítẹ́ ìlọ́sùnmẹ̀ ẹ máa yín nù ẹbí sí gba òsín tó họ lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀mí sídọ̀ ẹ̀sọ́ wá yí gìgọ̀ wá kodo nàdómọ̀dọ̀ yé gbàdó pọ́nná òun hètò jìjọ tó àgbàsá ìlú hàlàmẹ̀ bó sọ́mọ̀dọ̀ yé ná húhún yéhìn húhún plá tó ene gbogbomagbọ̀vọ́ títí tó ìdàndópọ̀ dúdótè nágbẹ̀tọ́ àìtí Nàìjíríà tán rẹ̀ lọ́sùnlọ́sùn àsún sílẹ̀ nàdómọ̀dọ̀ èyí àgàdógọ́. oògùn yìí má tẹ̀gá ene àhọ́fì Dàpọ̀ Abíọ́dún wẹ̀mí sílẹ̀ ẹ̀kọ́ sọ́ọ̀ náà dọ̀gbúgbó dọ̀ ene námọ̀dọ̀ ẹ̀mí gba sí òun hèjẹ̀rẹ̀ bí nàdómọ̀dọ̀ gbẹ̀tọ́ àyè má tẹ̀ oògùn tán lẹ́bi yìí mọ̀ àhọ́dù dàgbé tito sí ògbẹ̀dù èdè ọ̀hìn wọn náà sọ́zán bọ̀ gbẹ̀tọ́ he mẹ̀kọ́ zìyànnu sún àzọ́nù kó mẹ̀ náà sún àzọ́nù lẹ́kọ̀ọ́ nàdọ́mọ̀ òmù hẹ̀yìn jẹ̀dọ́ yìí tán lẹ́yìí tó mẹ̀hónù mọ́dọ̀ pọ́lọ́wẹ̀ sísẹ́ àhọ́dù nídìílẹ̀ tán náà sọ̀jẹ̀ yìí sígá àyè má tẹ̀ gán lọ́wọ́ ní sídọ̀ ẹ̀dọ̀ ẹ̀hìn tó hùn èdè tó yìí jóná mẹ̀yìn nìkan tọ́ ògbẹ́ gbẹ̀tọ́ ẹ̀kọ́ zìyànnu sún àzọ́nù lọ́sùn àhọ́dù nìkan tọ́ àhọ́dún sí tán ekòsíyànnú sún àzánù kódó òwe kàtọ́ dàhówà mọ́tẹ̀ntàn lẹ̀ ekòsíyànnú sún àzánù lẹ̀ kótó àzánù ẹ̀tàn mẹ́tò kémọ̀sán Abẹ́òkúta nìyí tọ́nitán Lukman Adéfẹ̀sọ wọ̀nyí gígọ́ọ̀nù lọ́tàn wọn náà dọ̀ làpọ́n sì zàn lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀nà tó dìkẹ́ yìí dọ̀ dìkẹ́ àyè mọ́tẹ̀ngán mímọ̀sẹ̀ ó tẹ̀ xenẹ̀ òun mọ̀ nkọ̀tàn tẹ̀ kódó dé kódó gọ̀dó kódó dìndẹ̀ kódó pípọ́lá òkú ẹ̀hẹ́ yín dùdú wọ̀mẹ̀ kó ẹ̀hẹ́ ìjẹ̀rọ̀ náà yìí nínú yìí lọ́sùlọ́sù zìyànnú sún àzánù sí òkú ẹ̀ Ido kwa mon koton wetu tukla bekla betole. Weso zombo ima domi ma agbasa lo okwedo agbasa lo tito ebisi to fi lepo. Mo so dike beto ikusi yonu so azon to ai mate imere yedugbe akwa itonton to mewe. Misido azon na dembo na do be to uho de he na gba he so nu podi ene nko he na gba podi fide azon do te podo azon wa azon pa won mere ton po na te bo agayi na to zomo bodo pla fanfun ihun ti da si oho to aiteme podo lini ni na me podo oho yin agbata lilo si oho poga ehe we misido na wa ito meto gwi mati me file ehe we misido yedo to wonde ayi mati nga Dàpọ̀ Abíọ́dún dótò yìí jóná gbẹ̀tọ́ eyín àkọsẹ̀dó ọ̀zọ́ sílẹ̀ tán tó àzọ́nwó ẹ̀tàn tó ké mọ̀sán tó Abẹ́òkúta fèlè eyín tó ta ògùn ìmátẹ̀ tán mẹ́ ìtọ́mítàn lókun náà dé sọ lọ́wọ́ gbọ́dọ̀ títò lọ́tọ̀ ẹ̀mí sẹ́dọ̀ mẹ́ ní àkọsẹ̀dó ọ̀ sọ́nsì wa tọ́lẹ̀ kódó gángan yìí tán lẹ̀ kó yìí èmi kò bá sí kódó bí fíye àtọ́ wà sọ́ndó pọ́ kódó ògùn ìmátẹ̀ ọ̀ dùkọ́ tó gbá àsánpá sí òtẹ̀ ìsọ ẹ̀nẹ̀ nǹkan tó fìdí àsánpá òun ìmọ̀lẹ́tẹ̀ tó yí mẹ́wàá náà yín fìdí fanfún inú dàtọ́lẹ̀ sí àsánpá náà tẹ̀ kódó òmùsán wùwà kódó òhódò ńlá mẹ́nọ́sọ̀ sí àsánpá ẹ̀nẹ̀ information communication technology tán kó lọ sún lásọ̀ tètò ògùn mátẹ̀mẹ̀ fìlẹ̀ ga. àyí mátẹ̀gá tẹ̀ hùn tọ́ tó hódò gbẹ́ allied people's movement tán to ovobubla ti to wa ime to azan shene to sun atan to ko ime mi te tan to gun matene eme dawe Abdulkabir Adekunle Akindolade we mi se do ko so tan to nkan o wa je nkan o we ho ayi te tan ovobubla ti to ijo to ayi matene me tan ito mi tan Akim Jimo 18 to ayi 16 ti to gbe tan me wàyí gígọ́lù lọ́tún wa gbọ́dọ̀ àyímátẹ̀gá tẹ̀hún tọ́lọ́ eyín ìdòpótò mẹ̀ tán tó fírẹ́lẹ̀ mẹ̀ bóyá òwẹ̀ ọlọ́mẹ̀ gbọ́dọ̀ ìdọ̀ dé ònúlẹ̀ yìí dó tàbí ònú ònùkún èmìtàn mọ̀ tó fògbúgbó láti tó lọ́mẹ̀ èdò ìyá etí tó fi ìmẹ̀wùmẹ̀ èyí bá sí òbúrú mọ́ nǹkan tẹ̀ ga. Nàìjíríà yìí tẹ̀ fi hèmà wòsàn ṣàwòmẹ̀ wẹ̀mí ṣèdọ̀ yìí kò sọ basi onuhe nazo agayi na do plami flo je hon ne gas ton to ho ledo aiti Nigeria to men ehi we mi se do wa yi ne to wonu de e ma gweson akwa eso de so trillion fo kan ko la we nkoton we mi se do yeza akwa deji bodo do to ogun imate me fili yedo e bibasi we na so zon to bi fi e ba agayi na do plami flo je o sin ahala kótó àjọkó oògùn yìí má ti tàn kó bìlẹ̀ bù ú mẹ̀yìn nù púpọ̀ ní kò tọ́ etí iná hóhùnlá àzánwìwà kótó ọkọ̀ gbígbá sí òkókó ìṣòro gànjí tó àyítẹ́ ìmẹ̀fìlẹ̀ ẹni bàbá Túndé Rájí Fáṣọlá wọ̀mí ṣèdọ̀ ẹ̀sìn ló hejì dòwò ní dótò òun àfọ̀sọ́nù kú jìnnà àsánpádé èyí rọ̀rọ̀ Gasco Marine Compressed Natural Gas Model Plan 18 tó onígbàngàn to owó koro sí jìjì martin hodùmẹ̀ tó ogun martin fìlẹ̀ ní ìtọ́mítàn Mohammed Adébọ̀wálé wúwo yìí gígọ́ọ̀lù lọ́tàn wà náà. mẹ̀ṣẹ̀lẹ̀ lọ́màsìndà ó gbọ́n lè tó ẹgbẹ́ mi díkẹ́ mi ní pé tòmáà sí nǹkan mẹ́tò sọ ìjà náà gígọ́ọ̀lù lọ́tàn lóru ní dọ́dàgbé.
Abeokuta, solid as the rock.
tó o bá fẹ́ràn orí ìtàgé àtàwọn ètò apanilẹ́rìn gẹ́gẹ́ yìí StarTimes Orísun, ST Yorùbá nígbà tí àtàwọn ìkànnì tuntun bíi StarLife àti ST Newtime ló yẹ kó yẹn láàyò gbogbo ẹ̀ fún ẹgbàálélọ́gọ́rùn-ún náírà péré. o sì ní láǹfààní àti jẹ ìgbádùn àwọn ìkànnì tó dáńtọ́ bíi Fox àti Ebony Life TV. ìtàgé kínú ayé lẹ́kùnrẹ́rẹ́ orí StarTimes sì làwọn ọlọ́gbọ́n ń tẹ̀dó sí gbádùn ẹ̀. StarTimes jẹ́ ìgbádùn ayé dígítà.
He doesn't want overripe things. You know by nature, black is beautiful. Oh, talk today, and the baby is black. As for Uche, quickly tell me the baby video. Okay, ma. Yes, please. Oh my goodness.
Data is oxygen. Glow 4G, the new speed of life. Your #1 4G network nationwide. The very best from Glow, the grandmasters of data.
Take one.
I had my father tell me yesterday I'm an authority over you. And I said, no, you're not.
Old people everywhere, women disagree that men are ahead of them.
Let's speak out louder.
But that's the reality.
They were not encouraged. That's the word.
And it's missing.
Is it an issue that you think should be of concern? Let me hear what she has to say. It just turned into chaos. So I think you want to let move around.
All of this will just end in intelligent outbursts.
So you said the Constitution, exactly what part of it?
Precious Lord, take my hand, lead me on, let me stand.
With heavy hearts and tears in our eyes, but in total submission to the will of the Most High God, we announce the home call of our mother, grandmother, and sister, Chief Mrs. Janet Aju Akitoye JP Ni Kumapai, at the age of 76. Burial arrangement is as follows: Friday, July 5th, 2019. Christian wake keep at her residence, number 11 at Deboye Street, Olorushogu, Nta Abeokuta. Time 5 p.m. Saturday, July 6, 2019. Funeral service at the African Church Cathedral of St. James, Abeokuta. Is interment at the African Church Cathedral of St. James Cemetery, Idiaba. Reception at Abeokuta Sports Club beside Sweet Sensation, Okelewo Ibara, Abeokuta. Mama is survived by children, grandchildren, siblings, and in-laws. May her gentle soul rest in the bosom of her Creator. Sunre Mama. Announcer, Dickness Onyilola Omolola for the family.
Take my hand, lead me on. And the party to the Abacha coup. I did not see any reason why I shouldn't be involved.
June 12, The Untold Story. NTA Television College Jos announces admissions into 2-year diploma programs in film and television production, television engineering, and broadcast journalism. The sale of forms will commence on the 13th of May and run through 30th July 2019. Admission forms can be obtained from all marketing offices, NTA state capital stations, zonal centers, or at the office of the academic secretary.
Red Naira in bank draft in favor of NTA TV College. Applicants can also obtain the forms through the NTA TV College portal at www.ntatvc.edu.nj.
Applicants are required to possess 5 credits in GCE or SSCE in relevant areas of study in not more than 2 sittings, including English and mathematics. All properly completed forms attached with photocopies of credentials must be submitted on or before 30th July 2019. For further inquiries, please visit our website at ntatvc.com or call 0803 3144 383.
NTA TV College, training you to be the best you want to be.
Registrar Announcer.
Okay, try this thing now. When do you need to connect light? Come you on yourself now. Wow. Okay, come down now. Okay, I will look for it. So, okay, Kasai, come help us fix this wire now.
Sorry, I no longer carry out illegal connection. It puts the lives of people at risk and can cause fire outbreak and disrupt power supply. I will never be part of anything that has to do with this any longer because change begins with me.
Okay, what you mean talk makes sense? Okay, make we carry this slide and come up.
This message is brought to you by the National Orientation Agency in conjunction with the Federal Ministry of Information and Culture.
Do you desire to master new techniques and technologies of camera operations? Then you must attend NTA TV College special 4-week intensive course on modern camera operation techniques. The course is designed for cameramen in private and public television stations, ministries, departments, agencies, and faith-based organizations. Take advantage of the course to upgrade your professional skills in single and multi-camera operations. Special needed online news reporting skills for journalists, multimedia producers, and freelance reporters will run concurrently. Take advantage of NTA TV College's special 4-week course on online news reporting to upscale your capacity in computer-assisted reporting, social media content production strategies, online media platforms for dissemination of information, and much more. The venue for both courses is the serene and secure environment of NTA Television College near Old Government House, Rayfield, Jos, Plateau State. Date 8th July to 2nd August 2019. Course fee 100,000 naira only per participant. Accommodation inclusive. For more information, please call 0803 314 4383 or 0806 980 9807. NTA Television College, Jos, training you to be the best you want to be.
The stimulating arena, festivals and carnivals. Examples of what make Nigeria a tourism paradise. Nigeria's pride.
Hello and welcome to Tax Matters. I am Pearl Naimaka.
And I am Chiamaka Ohaochi.
Under the company's income tax regime, Nigeria operates what is known as self-assessment, whereby a tax-paying company, after due preparation of its accounts and audits by qualified accountants, assesses itself to tax.
That is to say, after the tax provisions, the company by itself computes its tax liability and proceeds to make appropriate payment in that regard.
Like tax officials like to say, they trust tax-paying companies. They believe in their good-naturedness. They believe that they are good corporate citizens of Nigeria. But then, in few instances, there are questions as to the adequacy of the taxes computed and paid by these companies. That is when you begin to hear about tax audits, tax investigation.
The Federal Inland Revenue Service continually engages in training and retraining of its personnel. On Monday, the 17th of June 2019, the FRS began hosting the Intermediate Tax Audit Course 2019, anchored by the African Tax Administration Forum, ATAF. The story of that training course will be told on this. And what is tax investigation?
Tax audit is an in-depth examination which involves the tax auditors going to the taxpayer's premises and then looking at the underlying records just to confirm that he has complied with the tax laws and he has also paid the proper taxes. Usually it takes about a week or so to do that in the premises of the taxpayer. And for investigation, it's a little deeper and is usually coming up through a trigger. Most investigation cases end in litigation, and it involves sometimes search and seizure in the premises of the taxpayer.
Is there a reason for the taxpayer to fear the tax audit process?
There is no reason at all. If you have complied with the law, and if you need also some clarification, then tax audit in itself is just to reinforce compliance with the tax law. And that way, we'll be able to minimize cases of evasion, cases of avoidance. There's no reason to fear at all.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Now you have defined tax audit. What do you do? What are the steps you take in conducting tax audit?
To conduct a tax audit, there will be a trigger. You would have done some risk analysis about the returns of the company, whether the company files return or not. You normally get information. There are information that puts a company as a risk factor in the industry he operates. We will mark such a case for tax audit, and normally we notify the taxpayer on the day we'll be coming. Okay. When we notify him, we also give him the list of the things that we require for that audit to hold. And after that, we do some reconciliation meetings with the taxpayers. From the reconciliation, we'll be able to agree on issues that border on the law and border on compliance. Thereafter, it might end up we assessing. It may not end up in assessment. It may just be that we have also engaged the taxpayer in a way that his compliance level is reinforced.
Okay. Okay. What are the common documents, the kind of documents that a taxpayer that is going to undergo audit?
First of all, he has to make his returns. The normal returns that he should file with the tax office, his financial statements, his capital allowance, his computations, and all the underlying records that we need to do the audit, his general ledger, his final records, and also the transaction records in terms of what makes up those things that he records in his final account. And apart from that, his bank transactions, we also sometimes want to know people behind the company and his customers, his suppliers, his relationship with some stakeholders to the companies, the shareholders, the contributors to the companies. Those are the things normally that we do. Usually we don't have an exhausted list of the things that we require. As we go on the exercise, if we require some other information, we ask the company. But usually we want companies to always keep their records so that when we get to the field, we have a hitch-free audit process.
That's from our archives, only on Tax Matters.
Back to our story on the intermediate tax audit course. The executive chairman, Federal Inland Revenue Service, who is also the chairman ATAF, was in attendance at the opening ceremony and placed the training course in perspective in his opening address.
If we trace the history of Nigeria from independence, from 1960 to the mid-70s, when we found oil in commercial quantities and ranked among the top 6 oil exporters, and until 1999, Nigeria and Nigerians continued to rely on oil revenue. The issue of taxation was hardly discussed. The level of compliance was at an all-time low, both at the state levels. Now, this government has decided a process of diversification, ensuring that we increase the productive capacity of all Nigerians, especially in the area of agriculture and, of course, infrastructural development. And where does this all lead to? It leads to FIRS. Our responsibility is to fund all tiers of government, federal, state, and local government through taxation. And this is the same process or same expectations or objectives of all African countries. And that is where ATAF comes in. We believe that if we develop our own human capacity and with the right vision, Africa should be able to fund its own projects, its own programs. And like the Ghanaian president talks about, anytime he has the opportunity, he talks about Ghana beyond aid. It's now time for Nigeria to say the same. And that's why we have decided to run this course.
To the participants,
I ask and request that you pay close attention to all the principles and case studies contained in the training module. Some of you might say that, well, the Nigerian economy is different, but at the end of the day, you'll be surprised to find out that some measures or some principles applied in other African countries can also apply in Nigeria. Our expectation after this course is that all of you will not only acquire relevant knowledge and skills, but of course demonstrate proficiency in the application of standards for effective and efficient tax-paying audits. We should remember and remind ourselves always that we're a organization. And although nobody wants to pay taxes, nobody likes to be audited, but in carrying out that function, we have to carry out that function in a manner that even the taxpayer will appreciate what we're doing.
to other stakeholders,
I also speak to the big four in Nigeria. Those are the KPMGs, the PwCs, etc. For them to join us together, because if they sign off on these accounts and we do an audit and we find out that they have hidden a lot of information, it's not good for them and it's not good for us. So this is a collective exercise that we have to do. And what we're trying to do here is to make sure that you're not at a disadvantage when you meet on the field people from the big four. Right now, there are a few other independent audit companies coming into the Nigerian market, because as we continue to raise the level of compliance, they continue to engage more consultants also to try and defend their positions. But I tell people, taxation is very simple. It's a matter of law and mathematics. And of course, when you combine knowledge, that's the end game. And so we're providing you with knowledge.
The training lasted for 5 days, covering the whole gamut of tax audit, including audit process and documentation, case studies, transfer pricing, and many more. Course facilitators were drawn from the ranks of tax experts from Swaziland, Tanzania, Rwanda, Burkina Faso, and Uganda. The Tax Appeal Tribunal came up strongly for mention during the course, further underlining the important place of the tribunal in the scheme of things. Dr. Ahmed Omar Idris is the Director Training at the FIRS.
Who is this training for?
The training is for tax audit staff that have come from the various tax audit functions in the service.
So with this exercise, what does ATAF in collaboration with the FIRS hope to achieve?
Well, the main objective of this training program is to strengthen the taxpayer audit capacity of our staff, whose only responsibility will be to help increase compliance. The whole idea is to help increase compliance. And the only way we can do that is to strengthen the capacity, to build capacity in taxpayer audit. It will be the first in a series of programs that ATAF, in conjunction with FIRS, will be organizing.
This is a training activity. It intends to build the capacity of officers that works in the tax administration. We provide trainings to all tax administration in Africa, but for this one specifically, it is the FIRS special training program in tax audit. What we are looking at is to empower tax officers in as far as the audit function is concerned, given its importance and significance, in order for the continent, or Nigeria for that matter, to be able to collect revenue and able to raise the revenue that is enough to run the government and to provide all the services. There has to be proper audit that are being conducted to individuals, to multinationals, to companies that are running from inside, even from outside. So for the revenue administration to be able to raise the needed targets or revenues, officers must know how to audit thoroughly. Yes, we encourage taxpayers to comply voluntarily, to do self-assessment, but still on sampling basis, we go back and ask companies or individuals to provide us with their books so that we check the accounts and we are able to, to see whether they filed properly or there was somewhere somehow where the law was not, followed. So basically it's to assist, empower tax auditors with skills that will guide them and lead them to run appropriate audits, but in the end is to collect and raise the revenue that countries require for development.
Mr. Femi Edgar is Nigeria's representative at ATAF Secretariat. He also spoke about the ultimate objectives of the FIRS in organizing the course.
I'm sure you're aware that ATAF is the body where you have all the tax agencies in Africa, which is chaired by our own Mr. Tunde Fowler, Executive Chairman of FIRS. One of their major mandate area is to develop capacity. Why develop capacity? Especially personnel capacity. Because you need tax money to develop every country in Africa. The more you have highly skilled and well-trained tax officials, the more revenue they can bring into government coffers. So this tax audit course is designed with that primary aim, that it comes into Nigeria, and we've gotten some of our very best tax audit officials from FIRS to attend this course, so that by the end of the 5 days program, they are better equipped to do effective tax audits, which the chairman made it clear that we expect that this course will lead to more tax revenues, but not only more tax revenues. They have a situation where better tax audits are done by FIRS. That sends also a signal in the tax system that you will have a good tax audit, and that will make taxpayers more compliant.
With tax audit officials of the FIRS now with sharper teeth, we can reasonably say, tax dodgers, beware. Mr. Fowler, once again.
I'd like to once again express the role of tax audits in domestic revenue mobilization. When you have an effective audit, it increases the level of compliance. Each time you have an audit and the taxpayer can get away without paying 10 to 20% of the tax liability, they believe that the following year or next year, they'll equally be in a position to get away without paying all the taxes. But once we have an effective audit done and they find out that they are subject to pay 100% of taxes, the following year, I can assure you, they'll also be 100% compliant. And in passing that story on, other people that are not already been audited will most likely start to do the right thing. And that's basically the role of tax audit. You may find out that when you carry out the tax audit, it may account for less than 5% of total revenue. But the impact that it has is that those not in the tax net, those who have still not been audited, will start to comply.
London, New York or Lagos, business or holiday, home or office, you can now carry out your tax transactions from anywhere in the world. You can now file all your tax returns, pay online, get a receipt, and even process your tax clearance certificate from anywhere in the world online and in real time. All you need to do is log on to www.firs.gov.ng and click on e-services and be introduced to the world of innovation, convenience, and transparency from the FIRS. You can also pay stamp duty as you register a new company with the CAC, or for other transactions that require stamp duty payment online. You can also file your withholding tax returns and determine the withholding tax deducted from you is in government coffers so that you can get your receipt within 45 days as long as the deduction has been remitted. Yes, all of this and more online at www.firs.gov.ng/e-services. FIRS, making tax administration as easy as ABC. Please note that all FIRS services are free of charge. This message is from the Federal Inland Revenue Service. It pays to pay your tax.
Thank you for staying with us. We did say in the course of the story on the tax audit training that the Tax Appeal Tribunal featured prominently during the course with respect to tax litigation that may arise from tax audit exercise. The Tax Appeal Tribunal was instituted via the FIRS Establishment Act 2007. The TAT in Nigeria combines the functions of the erstwhile VAT Tribunal and the body of appeal commissioners.
Currently, the Tax Appeal Tribunal sits in 8 zones. The first panels of the tribunal start from 2010 to 2016, while the current panels were inaugurated on November 5, 2018, and immediately swung into action.
On Wednesday, 19th of June 2019, the Tax Appeal Tribunal Abuja Zone had a sitting in a case involving a mortgage bank and the FIRS with regard to the alleged failure of the mortgage bank to charge and remit VAT. The tribunal held that by virtue of the CBN Act 2011, the mortgage bank was not obliged to charge and remit VAT. The mortgage bank, Infinity Trust Mortgage Bank, had approached the Abuja zone of the Tax Appeal Tribunal seeking for an order of the tax tribunal, the annulment of the assessment, demand notice in the sum of 29.2 million naira served on it by FIRS, being VAT on services carried out by the bank. The said sum of 29.2 million naira included penalty at 10% and interest at 15% for the period 2015 to 2016. In its judgment, the Tax Appeal Tribunal held that the FIRS failed to prove that those services carried out by the bank were VATable. The tribunal further held that the bank was not liable to be taxed on those services according to the VAT Act and the Central Bank of Nigeria CBN Act 2011 as amended. It was further held that the FIRS Information Circular Number 9 also supports the fact that such services by mortgage institutions were not VATable.
The respondent has not been able to prove before this tribunal that the services are incomes from the apparent statement of accounts are VATable services. In the circumstance, the Honorable Tribunal holds that the VAT assessment notice of the respondent dated 17th May 2018, the sum of 29,204,997 naira 0 kobo
and the respondent attendant demand notice dated 6 July 2018 respectively are hereby discharged.
Tax Matters spoke to counsels on both sides.
I think it's a well-considered judgment. However, we're expecting some awards of costs because of the stress and all, but it was a well-considered judgment.
So what do you think about the tax appeal tribunal?
They're doing a good job. They're actually trying.
Now that the judgment has been given, what's your opinion on that?
Well, it's a well-considered judgment. I agree with the member of the tribunal to some extent, and I did not agree with them in some area.
We also sat down with the Secretary of the Tax Appeal Tribunal, Abuja Zone. What is the jurisdiction of the Abuja Zonal Tribunal of the Tax Appeal Tribunal?
The jurisdiction of Abuja Zonal Office of Tax Appeal Tribunal is Federal Capital Territory, the entire Federal Capital Territory.
Who are the current members of the Zonal Tribunal?
The chairman of the tribunal is Mrs. Alice Iwobe, and we have 4 other members in the panel. We have Honorable Professor Ishola Rufus. We have Honorable Mustafa Ali. We have Honorable June, and we have Honorable Nasir Kulia. We have a panel of 5 members.
The concluding part of this interview will come to you very soon on Tax Matters. And on Thursday, the 20th of June 2019, the Tax Appeal Tribunal Southeast Zone sat in Enugu. Nigerian Bureaus PLC had approached the Tax Appeal Tribunal Southeast Zone holding at Enugu to appeal against the decision of the Abia State Board of Internal Revenue, charging it with a tax liability of 10,049,644 naira 45 kobo, which before the final sitting had been revised downwards to 3,263,837 naira 92 kobo. In response to the assessment, Nigeria Breweries PLC stated that the assessment, the Abia BIR subjected gratuities paid by the appellant to its employees to tax, to which the appellant MBO further objected on the grounds that gratuity, which was subject to tax under the PITA 1993, was no longer subject to tax by virtue of the Finance Miscellaneous Taxation Provisions Decree number 32 of 1996, which deleted gratuity from chargeable income. In response to this, the Abia BRL served the appellant with a notice of refusal to amend assessment, NORA, consequent upon which the appellant, MBO, filed a notice of appeal for 2 reliefs. The tribunal issued an order discharging the revised assessment notice dated 24th April 2017.
Gratuities are tax exempt under the Extant Personal Income Tax Act. Consequently, an order is hereby made discharging the revised assessment notice issued by the respondent to the appellant on 24th April 2017. I so hold.
Tax Matters also spoke to the Secretary of the Tax Appeal Tribunal Southeast Zone, Mrs. Nta Abeokuta, and of course the numero uno, the coordinating Secretary of the Tax Appeal Tribunal, ML Abubakar. These interviews will come to you in a subsequent episode of Tax Matters because we want to provide you with as much information as you require on the workings of the Tax Appeal Tribunal. Remember, the Tax Appeal Tribunal is your first line of defense when matters come to a crunch. Thank you for watching and have a beautiful week ahead. See you next week.